So have you ever read something online and thought, well, did a human write this or was it AI? In today's world, AI writes everything from news articles to product reviews to YouTube scripts to short stories. But not all AI sounds the same, and that's exactly what I'm going to explore and demonstrate. So I'm going to compare two of the most talked about AI tools right now, which is DeepSeek and ChatGPT. So I gave 3 prompts exactly the same to DeepSeek and ChatGPT, and the results are shocking. So stick around, watch this video till the end to find out the surprising results. The AI writing revolution is here. Well, welcome back to Claydesk. My name is Syed, and today I'm going to talk about the writing quality of DeepSeek and ChatGPT and answer a simple but important question: which one creates more human-like content? I'm going to test both across storytelling, blog writing, and product reviews, and long-form content as well. It's from fluency to creativity to emotional tone and realism. You'll see exactly how each of these tools perform and how one stands out in real-world usage. So let's get started. Human-like writing comparison, for example, side-by-side test, because I give 3 prompts, right? The test of both tools, identical prompts in 3 different categories. Storytelling is the first one that I gave. You wake up one morning to find a letter on your doorstep. So without further ado, let's dive right in and let me show you and even demonstrate all these 3 prompts, and then you'll see it for yourself who's the clear winner. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate by using these 3 prompts that I'm going to give to each, either ChatGPT and DeepSeek. So I'm going to give you 3 prompts to ChatGPT and the same 3 prompts to DeepSeek and see what we actually get. So first is a storytelling exercise. So for example, I have this little prompt that I just wrote. For example, you wake up in the morning to find a letter on your doorstep. It's addressed. I'm just going to leave it as is and see what the capabilities are of each of these tools. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this and navigate to first ChatGPT and just paste it. Okay, so that's AI storytelling, and I'm just going to paste it and say, all right, let's see what happens next. Okay, so as your fingers tremble slightly, you read on. This is your final chance to fix everything. You don't remember writing this because I wasn't you when I did, not entirely, and so on. So it did give me something. This is what the output is for ChatGPT. Okay, now the prompt is pretty straightforward. You wake up one morning to find a letter on your doorstep. It's addressed to you in your own handwriting, but you have no memory of writing. As you open it, the first line reads, "This is your final chance to fix everything." What happens next? Well, this is what happens next according to ChatGPT. As your fingers tremble slightly, you read on. This is your final chance to fix everything. You don't remember writing this because I wasn't you when I did, not entirely. I've made choices. Some you'll remember soon, and some you'll wish you didn't. But listen carefully at 3:47 p.m. and so on. So it highlights some of the important aspects, right, of the little story. And of course it says sign. You sit stunned, the words pulsing like a heartbeat in your hand. Your mind races, the locket, the one hidden behind the false panel in your closet, and so on. Okay, so just by giving this prompt, I've not given any other instruction. I've just told it to come up with something, right? And I did. Let's go ahead and give the same prompt to DeepSeek. So I'm going to use DeepSeek, paste the same prompt, and let's see what DeepSeek comes up with of the same story. Okay, so here it says, well, the moment your eyes scan those words. So this DeepSeek directly starts when you actually open the letter. Okay, whereas ChatGPT basically gave you a little backdrop of the story as well. Okay, but here let's see what DeepSeek does. This is your final chance to fix everything. A cold prickle runs down your spine. Words are a little different, the vocabulary is different, the handwriting is undeniably yours, but the paper feels strange beneath your fingers, slightly too thick, almost like vellum. The ink shimmers faintly under the morning light as if it's alive. You glance around, half expecting to see someone watching, but the street is empty, the air is unnaturally still. So the word's a little high end, right? So it's not plain, straight English per se or conversational tone, right? So as you read on, the letter explains that so this is, again, it's not the first person. It's not like really touching what I'm actually need to hear as a story. But of course, it does a fairly okay job. So in this prompt, I would definitely go with the ChatGPT's response. So hey, we got 3-1. All right, let's come up with the next prompt. So a product review. Well, let's see how well these do in these. So I'm just going to do a product review for the Apple 2025 MacBook Air 13-inch laptop with M4 chip, 24 gigs of unified memory, 1 TB SSD, and so on. So I also told it to start by briefly introducing the product and what it claims to do. Then describe your personal experience. That's what I'm asking ChatGPT and DeepSeek, right? Including what you liked and didn't like. Be specific about features, performance, usability, and value for money. Conduct or conclude with whether or not you would recommend the product and who it's best suited for. All right, well, maybe I'm thinking of buying an Apple MacBook, and let's see what they come up with. So let's go back to ChatGPT first and enter the prompt, and let's see what ChatGPT says about this product review. Okay, now what ChatGPT gave me was basically, of course, headings, and these are pretty common, by the way. If you see emojis in your everyday writing or on the text website, you know it's ChatGPT driven, right? I think these icons are their iconic features, so to speak, right? Well, let's take a look at what the results are. So it says, here's a comprehensive and candid review of the Apple 2025 MacBook Air with M4 25 gigs of memory. All right, so it gives you an introduction. The latest 13-inch MacBook Air introduced in March 5th, sports Apple new M4 chip. Just gives you a background of this particular laptop. And notice how ChatGPT also gives you the links, right? So this is the new AI search, so to speak, right? Well, Google, you asked, and then it gave you a reply, and then you clicked on it, you went to the website. But here it's naturally within the writing, it's giving you where it's getting the information from. So this is from TechRadar, for example, and this is from Wikipedia. Well, Wikipedia is pretty big. Well, we underestimated Wikipedia, right? All right, so it gives you an introduction. Then Apple claims, it gives you the claims that 50% CPU, and then, of course, my experience. Wow, the LLMs have emotions, right? So, hey, it's telling you my experience. So the performance and memory of the 24 gig unified memory feels effortlessly fast. It's giving you some of the benefits, right? And again, it's getting information from Reddit and, of course, other sites as well. And then talks about battery life, display and webcam, design ergonomics, health, heat and fanless design, usability and ecosystem, right? And then says what I like. Well, I'm not sure whether ChatGPT is able to like it or not like it, right? I don't know if it's the truth or not, but hey, that's the reply of ChatGPT. So it's blazing fast, just gives you the benefits. And what didn't work for me gives you some limitations also, like limited ports, occasional warmth under the sustained load, and so on. And then value for money. So it says, hey, it's $14.99, well, $1,499, delivers pro-level performance, and the final verdict, according to ChatGPT, is would I recommend it? It says absolutely for users who want top-tier portability plus real power. Specifically great for, and gives you a list of it's good for developers, students, heavy-duty creators, and so on. So in conclusion, gives you a conclusion as well. All right, perfect. So let's go to DeepSeek and give DeepSeek the same prompt and see what DeepSeek thinks about and gives a detailed and honest review of Apple MacBook Air. Here we go. Same thing. It starts with the introduction and claims. So DeepSeek sort of like jumps a little bit, but it says, and it seems like more concise. Introduction and claims the MacBook is Apple's latest ultra-portable laptop featuring the new M4 chip up to 24 gigs of unified memory. It just gives you a little description and then it gives you my experience, what I loved. Well, same thing with ChatGPT, same thing with DeepSeek. Performance and speed, battery life, display design, memory, and thermal and noise. Pretty much the same topics as ChatGPT gave, but a little more robust, I think, right? And then what I didn't like, of course, gives you some of the limitations as well. Same thing with high price. The prices are different too. ChatGPT said $14.99, that's $21.99. So you have to be careful as to what you're evaluating. But pretty much like the high refresh rate, the price, gaming limitations, port selection are common between the two. And then the value for money, and of course recommended for and gamers. So the rating is 9 out of 10, nearly flawless, right? But Apple cuts corners where they shouldn't. So pretty concise. That's what I like about this. It's more concise, not a lot of emojis and no icons, just I can go through and glance it. So in my opinion, this is probably a good review, a simple, straightforward review that DeepSeek gave versus ChatGPT. All right, so now we're 2-2, right? So the last prompt, let's see who wins when we talk about the last prompt. And here's the last prompt, a professional blog intro. So the prompt is write a compelling introduction for a blog post, or insert my own topic. I can put my own topic here, tailored to a knowledge audience. I'm going to remove the insert my own topic and have it just come up with a topic. How about that, right? Let's test the LLMs. So introduction for a professional blog post on tailored to a knowledge audience. Let me get rid of this sentence. Perfect. So write a compelling introduction for a blog post tailored to a knowledgeable audience. So the keyword here that I gave LLMs is knowledgeable audience. Begin with a relevant hook, such as surprising statistics, recent trend, industry. Capture, these are the elements that I want in the blog post. Clearly define the purpose of the blog, explaining why the topic matters in today's context, and so on. So let's go ahead and copy this. Now notice I did not give a topic, so I want the LLMs to come up with their own topic. So first, let's go to ChatGPT and see what ChatGPT comes up. Well, it'll be interesting to see what topic it actually picks, right? Well, there we go. So it says over 80% of the organizations are now investing in AI-driven automation. Boom. So right off the bat, without even specifying the topic, it picked AI-driven automation, right? And it just gives you a little bit. So it's not really a blog post, right? Well, it just gives you introduction, and this says this blog post cuts through the hype to explore insert topic here. So it didn't give me a topic, but it gave me the starting aspects of it. So unless and until I give a topic to LLM, it just tells me, hey, come up with something. Well, let's see what DeepSeek says about this. It'll be interesting. So the same prompt, I just gave it to DeepSeek. It's going to write a compelling introduction for a professional blog post tailored to a knowledgeable audience. And here we go. Same thing. Well, the very first thing that struck me when I'm just reading as it writes is that both topics are the same. So AI-driven automation is projected to shape 40% of the business workflow. So without giving a topic, it's actually coming up with the latest trends, right? So the LLMs know what's going on in the world, what's trending, what are people looking for, and that's what they're suggesting. So that's something to keep in mind when you're working with prompts and working with these tools. So same thing, pretty much identical. And it kind of tells you the introduction and then why this works, right? And it says adjust the focus on cybersecurity, health. So it gives you a little lead on it, right? So I'd say pretty much ChatGPT and DeepSeek are the same in both ways. Now, what about you? If you were to experiment with this, give it a topic and then comment down below. Let me know what the results are for DeepSeek and then what the results are for ChatGPT. So this is how we actually use when we're looking at both of these tools. And I just wanted to demo and sort of like see the results of the same prompt given to DeepSeek and ChatGPT. So the results are pretty straightforward. Out of the 3 prompts, 2, one DeepSeek won, and the other one, the second, ChatGPT won. But the third one, it was a draw, right? So overall, they're pretty much the same, give or take, plus minus a little bit of things. So in essence, all these tools, whether it's other tools like Claude, Anthropic, and you name it, they have data sources. Everything comes from data, guys. They're not thinking of themselves. They're actually getting data from somewhere. And well, guess what? All APIs from Google, which has the largest database in the world, and so on. So these models that these LLMs are developing and exploring or enhancing as we speak basically are the source where you're getting all of this information in plain English. And that's how basically the vibe coding is, and I've done several videos on that, so you can take a look at how we actually use these prompts and then come up or be more productive. So I hope this helps. Let me know what you think. type these 3 prompts, and for the blog, give it a title, and then in the comments below, give me the results, what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope this helps. I'll see you guys next time. So there you go. Now you exactly know I demonstrated these 3 identical prompts I gave to ChatGPT, the same prompts I gave to DeepSeek. Well, one clear winner was the DeepSeek, the other prompt clear winner was ChatGPT, and the third prompt, both are tied the same. And that's again my opinion. But let me know what you think and comment down below on what your experience is or your project that you're working on, how you find these prompts or these tools to function for you. Thanks for watching. My name is Syed. Give it a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time.